Hey, how you doing, movers and shakers? It's Jae Burnham with the Real Jae Burnham Show. Thank you so much. This is day 18th of SSSVEDA, a vlog every day in August, which I'm having a ball doing. Of course, I've been doing a vlog almost every single day for the last 6 months. But hey, who's counting, right? But more on that in a couple weeks. But anyway, I want to talk to you guys, you movers, you moving company owners. You guys are my bread and butter. You guys are my core peeps. Do they even say peeps anymore? Is that even a word? Anyway, guys, I'm talking to you because I want to know, are you charging for packing and supplies? Because if you're not, you're leaving money on the table. A lot of money on the table. Let's talk about that. All right, guys, as you know, this is the Real Jae Burnham Show, and you guys, let's get something handled right now, right over here. Subscribe button, hit it. All right, so movers, my mover company peeps, we're movers. We're in the business of moving people from point A to point B, including companies, and college kids, and housewives and single mothers and divorcees, and et cetera, et cetera. If it's going from point A to point B, we can move it. But there's one common thing that we're all moving that a lot of you beginners are not charging for. And it's the same mistake that I made when I first started my business. And that is not charging for packing and supplies. Right? Now, I'm not talking about plastic wrap. If you're using plastic wrap, you're not charging your customer. That should be included in your hourly or flat rate charge or your tariff charges. That should already be included. It should just be a standard. I personally don't use plastic wrap unless a customer insists on it, only because it's plastic wrap and it sticks to things. You're going through a door, the plastic wrap likes to stick to the walls, and boom, it's just hard. It gets wet, it gets slippery. I don't like using it. However, it's great if you want to keep a door shut on cabinets and dressers. I think that's great and perfect for that. That's fine. Me personally, I'd rather use rubber bands. I think they're more effective, and they're less of a hassle, quicker to put on, saving you time, and obviously creating more profit. Hey, but that's me. You guys do whatever you want to do. You guys do you. You guys like plastic? Hey, use plastic. Think you're wasting your time and you're costing your customers a lot of money. That said, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about as far as supplies is the boxes and the moving supplies that go with it, like markers, tape, paper, box inserts, etc. Now, one of the things that the van line companies do really well is they charge their customers every time they put something in a box, it's getting charged, right? They charge you for the box, they charge you for the supplies, and they charge you for the labor to put that thing into that box. You have a lampshade, they're putting it in the box, you're getting charged, right? That's the way it happens. Now, as beginning movers, we don't normally realize that, right? You don't really have that concept. A lot of you have worked maybe with 2 Men and a Truck or some other moving company, but you really didn't know how that was charged. And I know you don't know that because I get a lot of questions going, how do I charge? One of the most popular videos that I have in this whole series is how much do movers charge, right? So I know that that's a little bit of a concern for you and a little bit of a problematic for you, and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Therefore, I've never done a video about charging for packing and supplies, so that's why I'm doing this. So, when you're charging for packing and supplies, what you need to do is charge for the box, right? Wherever you get the box, you want to charge at least a 50% markup, profit margin. So your markup will probably have to be like 60 or 75%. Your markup's probably going to be a 60 or 75% markup so that you can get a 50% profit margin. All right? Now, I have a video about profit margin and profit markup. If you don't understand those concepts, please go check that video out. Or I'll put it up right up here or something like that for you. All right? Now, so what I want you to do now is basically I want you to figure out how much your boxes cost, your dish packs, your wardrobe boxes, your small, medium, and larges, all the boxes that you have, find out how much they cost per box. And then what I want you to do is then, with the correct markup, make sure that you have minimally a 50% profit margin on that box, right? Hypothetically, if your box costs $1, you want to charge $1.50 to get that 50%. Make sense? Okay, so if the box costs you $1, you're going to charge the customer $1.50. Now, you're also going to charge the customer a labor cost to pack that box. I charge between $8 and $11 for small, medium, and large boxes. You figure out whatever you need to figure out. But for a small box, it's $8. For a large box, I'm charging $11 to pack that box. It's not based on time or hourly or anything like that. It's by the box. Good. So now once we got the charge for the box and the labor to pack the box, we also got to start charging for the tape to charge the tape to package the box up, to seal it up, and then any kind of paper or stuffings that you might use. You also want to make sure that you're charging for bubble wrap or rhino wrap or anything that you're using to protect glassware, TVs, pictures, anything like that. All right, so basically you got to figure out how much your box costs, right? Then the appropriate markup to get a minimum of 50% profit margin. Plus you want to charge for all the materials that you're going to use to pack that box. Again, giving yourself a minimum of 50% profit margin on those materials. And then you're going to charge for the labor to pack that box. You can choose your own rates of how much you want to charge for to pack that box. That's up to you. However, I would recommend, if it's in your tariff, you use the tariff prices. Here in the state of Michigan, we have what's called a tariff, and you use the tariff, and you got to charge based on the tariff. And if you don't, you can get in trouble and lose your authority to operate in Michigan. All right. So my suggestion to you is to make sure that you're charging appropriately. Make sure that you're charging for all the materials. Doesn't matter if you only use a foot of, you got a 30-roll piece of roll of tape and you use a foot of it, you charge for the entire roll of tape. You can't just charge for the foot. You charge for the entire row. Whatever that roll costs, make sure that you get your proper profit margin on it. Again, a minimum of 50%. Should be more like 75% to really make money on it. Okay? Also, if you're same with the bubble wrap, same with the packing paper, so on and so forth. So you charge for the packing and you charge for the supplies, making sure that you collectively gather that together. All right. So if you're not charging for the packing and supplies, you are leaving money on the table. And my friend, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. This is over and above your hourly charge or your tariff charge or your flat rate charge. If you have to put something in a box that should be in a box, like let's say a lampshade, or maybe there's a knickknack or a TV or whatever it is, if it should go in a box, you put it in a box and then you charge your customer accordingly for that. Of course, when you're doing your estimates, you would let them know that such charges would occur if it's not packaged. So if they're doing their own packing, you must say, that's fine, I appreciate that and I respect that. However, if we come across anything and we have to put it into a box, we will be charging you a packing charge for that over and above our tariff. And that should be in your written estimate so that they know about that. Okay? So by doing this, you can actually double how much money it costs. For instance, right now, I have a crew that is loading up a truck to take down to North Carolina. They didn't want packing. My guys have boxes. They took boxes of materials with them. If they use those boxes of materials to pack any kind of furniture or item, they're going to charge that customer over and above our flat rate charge for that customer. Now, if they ask you for packing, this is a great time. For instance, I know a 3-bedroom house is going to cost probably with our charges right around $1,200 to $1,500 to pack a house. That's about where the average is. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But it's going to be between $1,200 to $1,500 to pack a typical 3-bedroom home. That's a considerable amount of money. Yes, I have to subtract out of that money that I'm getting for that the materials, because I got to rebuy the materials. But most of that will be labor charges and my profit margin on top of the supplies that I charged. If I have done it correctly, I should make a good, I should make a good 70% of that will be profit. Okay? So just know, if you're not charging for packing and supplies, you're leaving a considerable amount of money on the table. So my suggestion is, go through everything that you have, all the boxes and everything, figure out how much you're paying for each item, make sure you use the correct formulas for the markup to get the profit margin that you need, and make a list of, okay, my small box is going to be such price, my medium box is going to be at this price, my large box this price, my dish bags this price, my wardrobe box this price. If you're fortunate enough to be in a state that has a tariff where you have to use the same tariff with everybody else, most likely those charges will already be laid out for you in that tariff. Use those prices. If you don't want to use those prices, charge more than the tariff. You don't want to be charging less, because that will get you in trouble. But if you charge more, it could get you in trouble. Highly doubtful, right? Most other moving companies that are using the tariff are not going to complain if you're charging more. Just saying, because if they're charging the tariff and you're charging more, most likely they're going to come in with their estimate less than you. So by all means, charge more. But just figure it out. And if, like I said, if you have the tariff, use the tariff. If not, go through all your items, figure out how much it is, figure out how much each item or roll of tape, every marker, every X-Acto knife, everything that you're going to be using, figure out how much it's going to cost, and add that to your figures. Okay? Good. Hopefully I understand it. For you guys who are not in the moving business, what are you not charging for that you should be? What are some things that you are giving away for free that you really shouldn't be? That you're leaving a lot of money just so that you can be quote-unquote competitive. All right? There's no advantage of being the lowest priced mover or the lowest priced such and such. None. So stop cutting your throat and leaving money on the table. If there are things that you should charge for, charge for. Even if it's just a minor amount, charge for them. You deserve it. You're worth it. Don't underestimate your worth. Okay, guys? Hopefully this was very helpful. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you share this with all your family and friends. And don't forget, subscribe to this channel. All right, guys? Bye-bye.